Hey guys, it's me, Jenny, and I'm here with a daily message for you. Today's message is in regards to a love of a person who is striving so hard to become what it is you need them to be before moving forward with you and this relationship. Now, I do have a whole collective of people that listen to me and resonate with my channeled messages that are all on the same spiritual path and journey of self-growth and love. However, within that group, I have some subgroups, and this message is for two of those subgroups, one being the singles and the other being the married. So we have two groups that this message applies to. Take it how it makes sense to you and which group you fall into, but it's the same underlying message. Now the card pulled is I'm working on myself. And this message, when it came through, I channeled the scene from Sweet Home, Alabama. The scene where one of the characters says to the main character in regards to her first love, he knew you needed an apology, or more than an apology. He knew you needed more than an apology. He had to conquer the world first, and he's been doing it ever since. And she unknowingly went off, left her hometown, went off to seek a career, a passion of hers. She left her community and her home and her family and friends and decided to embark on a new adventure in order to, I guess, quote unquote, find herself. But in the end of this movie, if you're familiar with it, and I'm sorry, spoiler alert for those that haven't seen it, she finds herself back in her hometown around family and friends and falling back in love in the arms of the man who she left originally. And that pulls me to this notion of sometimes growth can happen more tremendously, more profoundly when you are separated from the person you love, when you have space between you and the person you love. Because sometimes when we are so caught up in the emotions of love, we tend to focus on nothing else but that emotion, that person attached to that emotion. All of our energy, all of our day-to-day movements, our actions, what we decide to do with our time is usually wrapped around the other person in this dynamic. Whether we want to acknowledge that or not, I feel like many of us have done this in relationships where you don't make choices based on your personal needs anymore. You start making choices and movements based on what you feel your person would want you to do or what their plans consist of. So that way you guys can mesh and merge your paths together. Now, this should happen more fluidly. It shouldn't be forced. And if it's feeling forced and you're married, perhaps you and your significant other have felt some distance, some space in your emotional energy as of recent. This is not necessarily a bad thing, for within that space we discover things within ourselves and about ourselves outside of this relationship. And then when we are prepared to have important talks, serious talks about where we feel this is headed, then we meet and we see eye to eye and we see how these plans will merge in a fluid way versus forcing it or changing ourselves or stopping one path in order to make another path open up. It's the merging of two paths. So right now, if you are married and this message is hitting you, you and your significant other are currently conquering the world first within yourselves and on your paths before you decide to have that talk with one another and learn how to peacefully merge these two paths together. And if you are currently single, your person that you're thinking of, the person that you no longer speak to or talk to, but you cannot stop thinking about this person, they're not ghosting you because they don't have feelings. They're not avoiding this because they're no longer interested. They have decided that the proof is in the pudding. They have decided that you are a person that needs to see the evidence. You need to see the actions. You need to see the results. You don't want to just hear it anymore. You don't want to just keep hearing the same old story. I'm going to do. I want to do this. I want to do that. They want to become the best and possible version of who they are before they reapproach you, because that's what they feel you deserve. And at this point, they don't feel as if they are good enough for you, which you know in your heart they are. However, you have to appreciate that mentality and only hope that they do achieve everything that they can be. If you love them, you will give them that time and that space to be the best versions of themselves. And while they're doing that, you need to focus on you and stop focusing on what you need to do in order to get this person back in your energy. Focusing on you and what you need to do will only bring this relationship and this bond closer together. Because what happens when this person comes back and they're completely healed and they've achieved all of that they needed to achieve and became the best possible version of themselves? But when they come back to a person who is codependent and needy and clingy and completely head over heels to where they're putting all of their ambitions off to the side for this person. They're not going to find that very attractive because they have healed and grown and they've passed that type of mentality in their life. They're going to want to come back to a healed person. They're going to want to come back to a person who is equally as ambitious and positive and healed and ready to conquer the world with them. Not behind them, not underneath them, with them, right beside them, hand in hand. So this is your opportunity given to you by the universe with, I've been hearing this a lot also, is separation is protection or something of that nature. Just know that this time is meant for you. This space is meant for you. It's meant for you to also heal yourself and also work on all those things that you always wanted to do. Now's the time, baby. Do it now. Heal yourself. Grow. It's all about growth. And for the married people out there, this is time for you to self-reflect. If there's emotional distance there, you need to really, really understand how you've been maybe putting someone else on a pedestal and out of love. Like, you're doing it because you love someone so much, but at the same time, you are putting your own needs, wants, desires to the wayside, which is actually lowering your worth and your self-worth and your self-love and self-esteem, all that. You need to find that spark within you and decide today, I love you, but I'm working on me right now. And I'm going to continue to love you through this if you're willing to be patient with me while I'm working through what I'm working through. And be vocal. Communicate. Don't hide those feelings anymore. Don't be aggressive, but just be truthful. Be honest. Be open. I swear, this week seems like all the messages coming through have to deal with the final acts of this inner work. Like everyone that's been on this journey and has been following like my page and people similar to my page and this collective, we've all been doing so much inner work, so much energy work, so much self-healing and growth. So many people have really decided that it's the season of me and finding out how I fit into this universe and what my calling is. And we're all, again, if you've listened to some of my most recent readings, going through the exact motions and emotions and feelings and actions as one another. So just keep that in mind, that if you're feeling this way, then your counterpart and your significant other is also probably feeling this way. So just know that your love is working on themselves because they know they love you and that you deserve the world. But you, my friend, need to understand that you also, yes, definitely deserve the world, which you're quite capable of giving that to yourself. The season of codependency is coming to an end. We are in an era of independent nature. We're in an era of self-love, growth, healing, putting out into the world creative projects that display our most inner truths and authenticity. We are in a vibe of self-love. So we all have to acknowledge that within ourselves and give that to ourselves and know that the people that we love and that we are with, or maybe that we wish to be with, are also going through that as well. And that at some point down the line, it's going to all make sense. Everything is going to come together, divinely planned as the universe had planned it from day one. You just have to have faith in yourself, in divine, in the universe, in your love. Lead with love. I'm being called to tell you, lead from the heart. Be understanding, not just with them, but with yourself. And by doing that, you're giving so much more of that beautiful, high, loving frequency out into this world that it's going to keep coming back to you. It's like it's getting on a wheel going in the right direction and not backwards anymore. We're going forward. We're not looking back. Seize the day. Also, I keep seeing numbers 963, 369, 7, 14, 66, and 99. So take that however it fits you, where it fits you, maybe specific dates, or maybe you're seeing those numbers as well. But those have been consistent. Oh, and the number 7. 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. Sevens are everywhere. So if this message did help you, please like, subscribe, and comment and share. And I really hope that this helps give you a little bit of insight into your person's thought process right now. And I hope you have a really beautiful day. Bye.